Hey guys, Cam here from 9 to 5 Google, and at its event, Motorola debuted two new phones in the summer. The Moto X Style, or Moto X Pure, and the Moto X Play, which recently got rebranded as the DROID Maxx 2 in the States. Since I've already reviewed the X Play, I wanted to see if the X Style would be worth the extra money to customers looking to buy. It's clear from looking at the two phones next to each other that they are from the same family. The cameras sit in the same pill-shaped metal housing, which has the same Moto dimple on both phones. The phones have a similar rounded back and a similar minimal front panel design, but there are some minor but very important details that are different. The X Style or X Pure feels a lot sturdier thanks to its strong metal chassis. The X Play, on the other hand, is all plastic and as a result is a little lighter, which is actually quite nice. Still, the metal on the X Style gives it a much more premium appearance. And even the customization experience feels more luxurious on the X Style. You can choose to have a nice grippy plastic, the real wood or leather on the back in various colours. That does have its downsides though. You can't change your mind once you have it. The rear coating is stuck on, unlike the X Play, which has a removable and swappable plastic rear shell. You can change the look as often as you like, but there's no premium wood or leather option here. Just 14 different colours of thin, flexible plastic. But perhaps the one design choice that I appreciated more than any other with the X Style is that despite the screen being 0.2 inches bigger diagonally, only 1mm has been added to the width of the phone. The bezels around the screen are really slim, and they make what should be a huge phone feel really comfortable in one hand. It's still big, but it's nice. It's considerably narrower than last year's Nexus 6, despite not losing much screen estate. It's a wonderful balance of screen size and practicality. And when discussing displays on paper, it should really seem like a no-brainer. 5.7-inch Quad HD versus 5.5-inch 1080p LCD should be no contest, right? But actually, no. Both phones have great displays. There's very little noticeable difference between the two in terms of sharpness. 1080p is more than enough on a smartphone screen. There isn't even that much difference in contrast. Blacks are surprisingly dark on the Moto X Play. Despite being made on the same basic LCD makeup, there's a surprising difference in tone. Whites are a little yellowish and warm on the X Style, where on the X Play, they're actually cooler and crisper. If I'm honest, I actually prefer the LCD panel on the X Play despite the lower resolution, but I wouldn't go as far as saying it's better. They're both great, and choosing between either phone won't hinge on the screen performance. They are both fantastic. Where I noticed the biggest difference between the devices was in performance. While the Snapdragon 615 octa-core chip kept the X Play going smoothly a lot of the time, there were also plenty of times when it would stutter, lag, or just pause. It seems to struggle to load data quite often, leaving me with a spinning loading disk on the screen. With the X Style, I haven't experienced that at all. It's been fast, fluid, and stutter-free. That of course is helped by the fact that it has 1GB extra RAM and a more high-end Snapdragon 808 chip. And that's not down to a difference in software. Both run a virtually stock version of Android 5.1.1, with a couple of custom Motorola tweaks, and will both be upgraded to Marshmallow in the near future. The two phones' performance completely switches when you're talking batteries though. Moto X Play's 3630 mAh battery can keep the phone going for almost 2 days. In battery benchmark tests, I scored around 3.5 hours screen on time with the Moto X Style, and over 5.5 hours with the Moto X Play, with both phones set to around 50% screen brightness. Onto the camera, and both phones share practically the same 21 megapixel sensor on the back. It's equipped with phase detection autofocus and dual LED dual tone flash. In most instances, results are pretty much the same as you would expect. Colours and dynamic range are almost exactly the same. Where I noticed the biggest difference was in taking the pictures. The X Play sometimes struggles to focus on subjects that are close up. It'd go hunting for focus often and come out blurry and out of focus completely. What's more, the Moto X Style manages 4K video recording versus the X Play's 1080p. In conclusion, the Moto X Style is a clear overall winner here for me. Apart from its battery life, it's better than the X Play in virtually every regard. From speed and performance through design and camera, it's just a better all-round experience. That said, if the battery is the most important thing to you, the X Play or the DROID Maxx 2 is a no-brainer. You'll have to deal with some compromises, but it will keep you going all day even without trying. In the US, the price difference between the X Pure and DROID Maxx 2 is negligible, in which case it's super easy to recommend the X Pure over the Maxx 2, or what's called the X Play in the UK. In the UK, there's a £120 difference in price, and I still think it's worth the stretch if you can make it. If you can't, the X Play still performs well for a sub £300 phone. I've been Cam, I'm at Cam Bunton on Twitter, and I will see you again soon.